I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024 Council Conservation Commission meeting at 7:01 p.m. May I have a roll call vote, please?
James Duroyan, present.
James Gates.
Kevin Smith, present. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hi, Jessica.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, gosh.
This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording?
That's making sure.
Chairman's additions and or
You've been doing it for years.
that's it.
Yeah.
Chairman's additions and or deletions. Gonna add a 3.4 to discuss some administrative things moving forward. Chair report. Anything I have should be covered in the staff report. Review and approve meeting minutes from 10/9/24. Did everyone have a chance?
Yes.
Do a motion in a second.
A motion to approve the minutes from 10/9/24.
Second.
James Duroyan, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
(1.7) staff report. Jessica.
Hello. Anyway, all right. Good evening. Real quick, before we start, is it still like 85 degrees in that room?
81.
81. Nice. So as tempted as you are to turn on the air conditioner, don't, because that's actually how that all started, because it's already been switched over to heat. So it goes into overdrive, apparently, since someone switched on the AC. So I'd go turn that off, because it seems like, based on your faces, something's already happened. So it'll get even hotter if you turn the AC on. So it was 96 in there earlier. So okay.
It was going down, but
Windows are good. Just close them before you leave, please.
exactly.
Thank you. No bats.
No, wait.
All right.
I'll forget to close, so.
I got it. I will make sure they
Thanks,
close.
Dad.
All
Good.
right, buddy.
Thank you. All right. Staff report from October 10th to the 23rd. Pretty light. The building permit sign-offs were done for 40 Gilchrist Road and 40 Wheeler Road. The referrals completed actually at your last meeting. All three for the planning board for 22 Main Street, 18 Main Street, and 249 Main Street. After the last meeting, you issued I issued the -3 determination of applicability for 21 Sauna Row Road, the tree cutting. We have a bunch of applications in right now. Oh my gosh, my cats. Sorry. Bunch of applications in right now. The NOI for 22 Sauna Row Road is still incomplete, but I know that is getting worked on and wrapped up soon. The NOI for 153 Wallace Hill Road, that was opened at your last meeting, and it's going to be continued to your next meeting on November 13th. I just contact
the pasture.
the horse paddocks. Yep. And the stream crossing. So I actually just emailed the applicant a few minutes ago, seeing if he was open to a site visit on November 6th, which is the Wednesday preceding that meeting. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. We have the NOI for 18 Main Street, which is the hearing will be opened in about 10 minutes for that. And then just today, we got an NOI in for 1 Brown Road. That's a single-family residential project. So that hearing will be opened on November 13th, and we also have a site visit for November 6th before that. Compliance stuff, nothing new to report on since your last meeting. And then finally, last but not least, I wanted to let you guys know that next week will be my last week in Townsend.
We're still
So
shedding tears.
Oh, you already know. Okay. Well, anyway, so I think that's what our 3.4 discussion will sort of revolve around. Not me, but moving forward, a plan.
You're not going to be in Townsend anymore. It sounds like you're moving to such a
We're moving to Hawaii. Yeah. No, I wish, please.
But Jessica, on a lighter note, me and Jimmy and Kevin and Pat, we discussed this between ourselves. And we kind of like came up with the decision that you can't.
We can't let you go.
Got it.
It might be easier for the kids and you really had your heart set on the time off and stuff. But yeah.
But it's been denied.
Yeah, that was some of what we said, denied, yes.
Got it.
So, I mean, no worries.
Well, then I rescind what I just said, so.
We appreciate that. And we didn't mean to be hard about that, but yeah, we really came up with it. We don't want you to leave. So thank you for working with this, you know?
Yes, thank you guys for all the time that you volunteer. Couldn't do it without you.
Well, we couldn't be where we are now without your efforts.
Wow.
They're greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
We definitely would be in trouble. I think.
I'm not commenting to that.
Anyway, so that's that's all I had for tonight. But yeah, I'll be around till the end of next Wednesday. So happy to catch up more offline about anything.
Stay up.
Let's hold it up until the meeting's done.
Let's take a chair. Let's suck it up. You're right, Jessica. It'll be 92 in here in a few minutes.
Now, Jessica,
We still love you.
when Pat
Oh,
gets here,
good.
are you gonna tell her through the owl too that you're leaving? Or
I was just gonna whisper.
Because I know she's not gonna be happy, and like I said.
I haven't told Pat yet. So.
See?
Was there any building permits, Jessica?
Yeah, I started with that. Yeah, 40 Gilchrist was, I forget what that was. That was a few weeks ago, but they didn't have any wetlands down there. And then 40 Wheeler was like a pool or something, but they're way up on the hill, super far away from, I think it's Willard Brook down there along Main Street.
Yeah, 40's up beyond Mrs. Forsman's. Beyond Forsman. So there's no wetland up there. That's in the high country.
It is,
That's
yeah.
the high country.
The high mountains. I'm surprised it's not snowing up there yet.
No, it was earlier.
Guys. We have 5 minutes before so our first hearing. We jump down to 3.1, request for certificate of compliance, 94 Fitchburg Road, DEP number 308-0715. Is that for the culvert pipe?
It's one down.
Which one was that again, Joe?
That was for
Next to that car, over 55 building that Baker's built.
Oh,
culvert. Okay, the drainage extension. Yes,
It was tied.
94 Fitchburg.
No, okay, 94 Fitchburg.
that. Yes.
It was lengthening, I believe.
40 feet.
It is.
Yeah,
Into the wetland.
Jessica, was there anything?
It's all done, stabilized.
that's good. Looks good. I actually looked at it today when I went by.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
40.
They jumped the price.
I'm gonna get 5.
Okay, so Jessica, was there anything
Oh,
No, it looked good. I took a walking tour of it. Everything looked good. It was pretty stable. So I recommend issuance of the COC.
Make a motion to issue a completed order of conditions, DEP number 308-0715. Is there a second?
second.
Sorry, can you reword that? You said to approve the order of condition. That's not it.
Sorry, okay, yeah, sorry, approve the completed order of conditions.
What was the DOT number on that?
No, approve a completed certificate of compliance.
Oh, wow. Okay, completed COC.
Yes.
Can I make a motion to strike that, all that from the record?
So moved. See, I told him we'd be in trouble without you,
Yeah,
Jess.
see,
I
it's
told
already
him.
falling apart, so I make a
It's
motion
it's right there on your agenda.
Yeah,
Just not-
just the thoughts of relieving.
This is just terrible.
Okay, somebody second, please.
Certificate, yeah. Make a motion to issue the COC for 94 Fitchburg Road, DEP number, 308-0.
715.
Yes,
07, I had that right.
I'll second that.
Kevin second.
James Druin, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Oh, man, it's embarrassing.
Everybody said I had.
It's only Wednesday.
I did 5 of it today, half the day, and I didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
Get that
Sometimes you have to get creative how to eat up 2 minutes.
That's it. Almost time to put the other one up.
I'll provide an update. The proposals from Dillis and Roy for the survey of the 3 Conscom properties, those were signed by our town administrator and sent back to Dillis and Roy. So they have been officially authorized to proceed with the work.
Ah,
And we had full, complete funds for all 3 to be completed with something left over?
Yep.
Cool. Nice. That worked out well.
Hey, Jessica, you ready for me to fumble this?
Totally.
So, screw it up.
Confidence is high.
All right, so
Is
I
there
think,
any cash in it?
no. I'd like to make a motion to, open the hearing for 18 Main Street, TWB 2024-194. Jessica, we got the DEP number. Yeah, we did right here.
3081.
DEP number 308-0717.
07170771.
308. 0717.
0715 is the other one. It's amazing. 2 off.
Pat, Gemma is joining us at 7:16.
Jessica.
Yourself.
Scooby snacks too.
At 7:15
Jessica, did you get that?
once.
I got that and the Scooby Snacks announcement. Yes, both are going into the record.
Like water and help yourself to candy. Happy Halloween.
I love you, Pat.
Sure.
if you were here, you could have one too.
I'll say so, just,
Well, maybe not,
All right.
maybe not.
listen to that.
Oh, Jimmy.
All right. Make the motion to open that is, applicants, Key Point Partners LLC, representative is Lucas Environmental LLC. Project status, redevelopment of a vacant building to install a Starbucks and associated infrastructure within the 100-foot buffer of bordering vegetated wetlands. This is slated to be a Starbucks in the previous Santander Bank.
Good evening.
Oh, we have to finish. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kevin, second. Roll call vote, please.
James Dorian, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Gilmore, yes.
Pursuant to the Massachusetts WPA and Townsend Wetlands bylaws, the Townsend Concom will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024 at approximately 7:15 p.m. The hearing will be held via Zoom and in-person town hall on a NOI filed with Concom by Key Point Partners LLC. The property is located at 18 Main Street, Assessor's Map 41, Parcel 4. The proposed project involves the demo of an existing commercial building and construction of a standalone Starbucks restaurant. Drive-through, it's taking it down.
It was.
There are associated improvements to the parking lot and stormwater management system. Proposed portions of the work all are located within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting. Copies of the application are available for review at town hall during business hours.
Thank you.
Jessica, did you get a chance to look at the abutters?
Yes, and they all added up. They look good.
So yes on all the green cards?
Yes.
Nice. One more question. This is a tear down and a complete rebuild?
No, it's a renovation.
No, renovation.
That was a mistake.
Okay. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, who you're representing and who you're with, and then you can, present the project.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Tom Liddy, professional wetland scientist from Lucas Environmental. As you noted, we're here representing Keystone Partners LLC. Key Point Partners, joining us via Zoom is Alicia Visconi from Key Point, and here with me tonight is Steve Kowacki from RJ O'Connell Associates. They are the design engineer for the project. I'd like to just start off with some existing conditions, show you where the wetlands are. We'll get into the proposed design and answer any questions you might have. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the site. We had a site walk last week, and we walked over the areas. Main Street is to the north, and Trunk east to west. The existing access driveway is located here. The existing bank, which is vacant, that will be redeveloped, is located here. There's obviously a large detention basin just north of this structure, which drains through a series of manholes, drains down through a lengthy drain pipe and discharges to the wetland system to the south here.
So,
And Jessica and EP had a question about the basin of whether it would be regulated BBW wetland resource area. We dug up some of the old design plans for the project back from the 80s, which showed the detention basin being graded out and was depicted as a proposed stormwater detention basin. It's been maintained regularly through the years, and they mow it at least annually. So given that, we feel that it should be considered a detention basin and not a typical BBW that would be a naturally occurring wetland.
because I think we did mention at the meeting, we recall that having been put in by the one, which was never there, and it was originally put in for said use.
Right, and so I think it was you who told me the basin used to drain down through this channel and continued off to the south. And they must have plugged that up because the wetland ends right here now.
Way before that.
And then
Yeah,
the 100-foot buffer zone extends onto just barely this little sliver here, the existing parking lot. Otherwise, this wetland system remains up to the east and to the south and drains that new rail trail
Down into the watershed.
down
Yeah.
and goes to the south. So
and you're only on the upside of the parking lot, very small area. How many square feet in the 100-foot buffer?
I think it's around 400, 420.
I thought no more than 5,
Yeah.
minimal,
So it's really that limit.
just off to the edge of the park, of the,
Of the existing asphalt.
correct.
Correct. So all this
By
work,
2 minutes
the majority of this
concrete.
work is well outside buffer. We'll go over all the environmental protection measures to make sure there's not an adverse effect or specifically during construction. So here we have, this is the grading utilities plan that's included with the plan set. Under proposed conditions, again, here's that large stormwater basin. This would be a 2,470 square foot Starbucks building with 2 drive-throughs. Traffic will be routed around the building this way. In addition, there'll be some significant improvements to the parking area and some regrading. A lot of that asphalt that there's now will be converted to green space. There'll be new catch basins here.
Any of the pitches or grading of the drive areas that you're redoing changing at all? Are we pitching it towards the building or towards the wetland?
If I may, for the record, Steve Glowacki with RG O'Connell and
I'm all
Associates.
ears.
Principal of RG O'Connell, as Tom mentioned, we're the civil engineers on the project. The short answer is yes, there's some minor tweaks to those grades, but it's really just to capture some of this drainage, specifically driving drainage along the edge of the curb here, away from the drive-through. And then we're driving drainage down to this area where there's already a catch basin, but we're sort of pushing it over so that we can now put a treatment unit and a manhole and a catch basin with a sump and the like to improve water quality. Finally, we added an additional catch basin down here simply because we were isolating this with these.
So you're upgrading, if anything,
Oh, yeah,
water control, your drainage, et cetera.
that's right. By virtue of adding the catch basins, we have deep sumps now in the catch basins.
Correct.
Hoods. And finally, it gets channeled through a treatment unit,
Yeah.
which obviously helps clean water before
Yeah.
it's discharged.
Don't let the oil into the water.
Correct.
Exactly.
So with, obviously Kevin's got far more knowledge of this. That is good to see. We're working the water better, we're filtering it better. So whatever moves you are making, it is a betterment, which is good. Okay.
Yes, so in terms of, this fully meets the Mass DEP stormwater standards for redevelopment projects. We're coming away with improvements both in peak flow and water quality through the additions of the water quality unit treatment that Steve just mentioned, and the reduction of impervious site-wide. There's a reduction of approximately 6,795 square feet. And
For the
for the
overall,
whole site,
Okay.
site-wide,
Okay.
not, and then within the buffer zone, it's limited to 420 square feet,
okay,
because it's a small area to begin with.
very small, yes.
Yes, and then, so we also included the NOI, this will require the nifty SWIP with EPA. We included an operation and maintenance plan and a long-term pollution prevention plan that outlines maintenance requirements and schedules and everything like that. So we did get 4 or 5 comments from DEP last week. We prepared a written response, submitted electronically to Jessica yesterday, and Steve handed in hard copies. And so,
Could you
Do
mind?
you have a cop? You're gonna say the same thing
I was
on,
just, so there's copies in the packet they gave us, unless they
on
have.
what the DEP comments were, the 6?
Well, I was gonna ask him to review them with us.
Yes,
I have them right here.
awesome, he's on point, awesome. Yeah.
Just want to be sure. So So their first comments, and I can hand this off to you guys after.
If you could,
Yeah, and, this doesn't have all the attachments with it, that's in your package.
in our package, correct.
So their first comment pertains to the stormwater basin specifically. The applicant states there's a large, maintained stormwater management basin located in northeast corner of the site. The applicant should provide proof of maintenance to demonstrate this feature is not an area subject to protection, and that's exactly what we went through. Not only right in this meeting, but we talked about a lot at the site visit. And so we just include a reference to those old design plans and, so we feel like we've addressed that comment. They had questions about the TSS removal worksheets that are included in the stormwater report. They wanted just some updates to those, TSS sheets, which we provided. And then they wanted a discussion on recharge. Usually in a typical project, you need to recharge whatever groundwater is lost. However, when you have a project with a reduction in impervious, you typically don't have to do that. So we outline that clearly for them.
Yeah, because you reduce the paved area. So you increase the existing, you increase the recharge.
Yeah. So we're currently with a significant increase in recharge.
Yep.
They asked for snow storage areas to be depicted on the plans, and so in the O&M plan that was submitted, we revised one of the figures.
So that'll demonstrate what snow will not be pushed into any of the wetland areas.
Right, so this
Okay.
wetland's offsite to begin with, but I think maybe one of their concerns is also not just launching it into the stormwater basin.
Well, that's the other concern that I had. I was concerned about the increase of activity in that area with coffee cups, straws, all this other material that,
That's where they've been putting it for years, Jimmy,
I know,
as well as down around the backside, it's even closer to the wetland.
Jessica kind of squared me on, that's,
Well, off the back of Hannaford.
Yeah.
Top end.
the far end.
Right, so
So
with
it's
the
CBL.
Starbucks, with the increase in
That whole
green
area
space,
down through there, stuff.
we identified on the sheet that any snow for the Starbucks can be placed, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the new lawn area and in the island, so.
Yeah.
And that's outlined in the O&M plan as well, that was submitted,
Mm-hmm.
and then.
So if they get overloaded, they'll just haul it.
Oh, they'll just bucket it into the stormwater area. Come on.
Easy.
And then, DEP states the commission may incorporate long-term O&M plan as a special condition in the order of conditions that approve. So it seems like they're suggesting to the commission that you reference the O&M plan specifically in the order of conditions. That's how I interpret that.
So they give us a little levity on that.
Sorry?
They give us a little bit of leverage on that or input to our concerns and what we would like to see implemented,
so-
et cetera,
So
in
over
our next
time,
meeting.
this O&M plan doesn't get kind of lost in the shuffle. So it's
Okay.
referenced specifically in the order, and you guys have, enforcement capabilities with an order of conditions, so. That was pretty much it. I don't know if you wanna.
This is,
That was that's just the cover letter with, what we submitted yesterday. And
Oh,
the
alright.
attachments are, in
Alright.
the packages. So that's the general overview. If you have, be happy to answer them. Otherwise, and I don't want to speak for Jessica. She's emailed me a couple of questions. I think we have everything resolved. This is going to planning board, but given the limited work in the buffer zone in the jurisdictional area, unless you have any outstanding questions or comments, we might.
Right, and that, there's a tiny little wedge that's in our jurisdiction,
Yeah, basically.
so.
we're what do you say, it's under 600 feet or under
Right there.
500?
Under 500.
Right here, just this little,
A little sliver right there. Looks like a good plant set, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, there's a thorough plan, so.
and I think you guys,
Plan set.
nice presentation. I mean, I
I did-
feel it was a good job, nice job.
I didn't have a chance to attend the, sidewalk, but I know everyone did. You
Cut
got it,
and dry site, Jimmy.
yeah,
It's,
any concerns or?
I'm good.
Jessica, would, input?
It was, I mean, Jim brought it up at the site visit, and then I kind of talked him off the ledge, and then today I was thinking more about it. So sorry, Jim. But about so how your bylaw is written, and I'm not looking at it, so it's not verbatim, but it basically means that things in your jurisdiction include, stuff that discharges to a resource area. So what I was getting clarification on from the applicant's team today was where exactly that stormwater basin discharges to. And maybe I missed that just because I can't actually see the plans that you're pointing to, but it literally
Yes.
discharges into the wetland. So therefore, to a certain extent, what goes in, what's being discharged from that detention basin is something that you guys do need to think about. And so we're talking about the snow, which I agree. I think the snow is always plowed like right there behind the drive-through line.
I
So-
think part of the reason is because it's been vacant for so long. The contractors,
Yeah.
that building's been vacant, they stuff it all in their corner.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like with the TSS and the stormwater standards and everything, that the water that will be discharging is being treated as best as it can be. But just something else to include that's, under your consideration for jurisdiction.
In discussion, but as he had said, and Kevin can probably better explain it, they're increasing stormwater treatment, where it
Yep.
flows from, et cetera, et cetera. So everything they've done, they've increased the water capturing of it, gotten it away from the wetland, diverted it, treated it, and
Treating it, we've got some animals,
So, and I love going down the snow stuff, because with snow you have salt. Putting.
and rubbish. That's the other thing that
But the
concerns me
salt
too.
is, yes, salt.
Yeah.
Or, chlorides.
Every
real- are
street in
detrimental.
Townsend is salted
I understand that.
with brine and rock.
It's not there's no brine put down here. If they put brine, there wouldn't.
no, are you referring to what's going on the highway, right on the other side of the detention basin?
Correct.
Well, and that's a different animal.
The
Okay.
contractor, the contractor that's
Doing it
maintaining that site
will use,
is not using brine, they're using just salt.
No, what they should,
No,
correct.
it's that's a different discussion.
Correct.
yeah,
But, so being mindful of where we put snow on, not just on pavement, but also,
On
on
grass
grass. If the grade is, or if it's an island, the water's gonna shed off, it's gonna thaw every day, refreeze every night, and then they're gonna have to salt it every morning. Sometimes it's better to pile the snow right next to a catch basin, so it's a shorter distance for it to run, and you're
Correct.
not doing, we used to call it ice patrol
Correct.
every night.
Mhm.
And it also allows for trash pickup at the end of the season and sand pickup if they use sand, which I
It's on the pavement.
hope they don't use any sort of sand there because of,
too much turbidity.
Nobody uses
Yes.
it anymore.
It'll be just too much drain off.
well, some guys still use sand.
I would love it.
So that has to be taken into consideration. I review with the snow location. Is it? You mind? You guys see where the snow locations were?
Yep,
Where were
You want like the
Down.
overall plan, or-
they? Just where the proposed snow storage locations were.
It
Right
hasn't been
there.
added to the plan, but it's
Okay.
been added to the figure that Tom had mentioned in the O and M.
Okay.
But there's snow, the snow plan back here.
Well, you can't put it here. You got a guardrail.
I'm sorry, push from this side. That's one area. In the past, yeah, it had been gathered here, but as was pointed out, this was a vacant operation. Now they're gonna be
Yeah.
forced to keep it very clear for that reason. So, as you mentioned, this
It's
guy
changed.
coming
A
around.
lot of it's gonna end up down.
Yeah,
that
down
way.
here where it can in fact, these catch basins, to your point about getting treated. So as it melts, there's a chance to go through these catch
Right.
basins here,
Unfortunately, this one's at by a drive lane, and I'm
It's
just starting the stormwater line. We just did yesterday. But be mindful of the catch basin locations, because, the water could get trapped here depending on however you have it graded, but regardless, you
Well, it's
can't
going that way, Jimmy.
store snow there because you got a sidewalk.
Yeah, well, right, so we've created a bowl in here so that
Okay.
water can drain down into this, by the way, which is an existing bowl currently today.
Yeah.
And so we're sort of aiming for that, to try to utilize modifications, but, the intent would be to make sure that the snow can melt off, go through those and basically get treated and captured by the catch. basins,
Exactly.
To your point.
And like Jimmy was saying, it would be good to be able to, wherever the snow was built up and caught, either there'll be rubbish cleanup or
So, and that's the thing,
They do it in the spring, though. They usually got guys right in there.
Right, yeah.
those guys,
Landscape.
they sweep for back in that parking lot at night or every other night.
And as part of the operations and maintenance agreement, so there's a couple things going on here with this sort of refurbishment of this building. The operations and maintenance agreement that's part of the stormwater management requires now that they obviously do maintenance, and the maintenance would include pickup of refuse, trash out of this basin area, right? In addition to the street sweeping and the like. And then finally, Starbucks is gonna have their own staff, of course, walking around and making sure that the building's not an eyesore, where in the past, debris may have blown to that corner and there's nothing happening there. So, we think that those several measures that was sort of locked into as part of the O&M would help keep this a clean area.
And those were my concerns. It's taken a drastic change from a bank operation to this operation. The amount of input, people, cars, et cetera,
Yeah.
is
There's quite an
increased.
increase on that front, but they've done a good job putting it together.
So you,
Yes.
and you can also look at, again, I'm walking the line here, when was the last time that those catch basins were back or cleaned?
Well, that's probably part of the maintenance agreement for the mall part of it.
No,
That would be
But
the
they're also-
LLC overseeing
Yeah.
Key point.
the big,
The property management company
Right,
or the
right.
owners.
Yeah, part of the improvement of the system, that's part of the problems, if you look at these old centers, right, they're designed, I'm sure you've all worked on them, they're designed where you have catch basin to catch basin, they don't have a sump, because you're just blowing sediment through there.
Yeah.
So any sand that's ever been in this parking lot is blowing in the weather, that changes now because we're gonna have.
Well,
catch-
those structures probably were right in this time when they changed it to went from like a 2-foot sump to a 4-foot sump. That's not that old. Those probably have sumps in them.
Potentially, but the issue with and why we've gotten away from doing the catch basin is because the water blowing through that catch basin causes.
Correct, causes swirl.
to bring it up,
Causes a swirl.
push it down.
Causes swirl, keeps things sediment up, yeah.
So with those offline, we can start avoiding that, and obviously making.
No, the overall big picture of it, what you're doing with the water treatment, where it's being moved from, et cetera, is a betterment.
Well, it's got the hoods,
Yeah, they have baffles in them, but,
Yeah,
it's,
and it's already been, as he just explained, they're gonna have a stronger overview of cleanup, et cetera, due to the change in usage. That's
Really educated, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to note, again, I can't see like what you're pointing to, but in terms of plowing near the catch basins, plow near them, but not on top of them.
Right,
Yeah, okay.
you don't want to cause a flooding problem, of course, I
Yeah.
agree.
Only for opening the skating rink.
Pat,
Yes,
you've been quiet tonight.
just listening.
Do you have questions, concerns, observations that you want?
Well, are we gonna look into the catch basins to see, or are they gonna, to see
Well,
how,
they're gonna
if
upgrade,
they're gonna be all
they're
right?
gonna upgrade and.
And they've already been
installing new
set in stone
ones.
and designed on the plans.
Well, no, you're asking maintenance wise?
No, well, I mean, have they been cleaned, or do they need cleaning now before this all begins, or?
Well, they're gonna be completely overworked. They're gonna be clean, they're gonna be upgraded and
That's
improved.
that little portion,
What?
that little portion of the parking lot. You had a,
Yes,
You're probably gonna go through and clean the existing structures.
well, the,
Within part of that, with that part of the facility anyways, I would
I
imagine.
wanna hear it though from them, that they're gonna actually, or somebody's gonna do that before they just.
Hey,
lump this together.
Guys, I think someone from the property management team wants to speak to this.
Thanks, Jess.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. This is Alicia from Key Point Partners. I can answer the catch basin question. So we clean the basins twice a year. So we do them in the spring, we do them in the fall. We'll do these catch basins kind of after all the leaves fall. So, end of this month, somewhere between now and like the first week of December. So we hit the basins twice a year.
Oh,
So
thank
you
you.
work for the
Thank you.
maintenance
the management company.
I do. I'm from Key Point Partners.
Awesome. That's a very helpful piece right now for.
Sure.
I gotta ask, do you have any plans on repaving that parking lot anytime soon?
Yes. So part of that. So we did some extensive
Yeah,
work about, I don't know, we finished it about a week and a half ago. And then we'll go into a couple different phases of paving. We did one phase in front of, if you're looking at Hannaford's to the right. Up through the entrance on the what I call the lower level. The second phase will come with, and Steve can point out, the second phase will come along with the Starbucks retrofit for the Santander building. And then the third phase will be kind of what I call like the rear to the upper parking lot. So we're going to finish the lower lot first and then move to the upper part of parking lot. That's kind of why you saw the work that we did this year, just to make everything weather tight. And then we went and restriped.
Thank you, Alicia.
You're welcome.
Questions. Nice job.
Yeah, I was just curious. Did that answer your question, Pat?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Eloquently, if anything,
Thank you.
I think. Yeah, right on point.
So, Jimmy, do you have anything you want to add?
I've already said enough.
This is pretty straightforward. Kevin, do you have anything you want to add?
No questions.
I'm all set.
Jessica,
James. Only that I know we're talking a lot about stormwater too, and just letting you know that the planning board, this is also considered a major stormwater management project in the land use office. So planning board is also reviewing an application entirely dedicated to the stormwater management system and its operation and maintenance into perpetuity. So that is underway, and I believe one of the options that they're going to choose is to have a peer review of all the work as well too. So it will sort of get double checked as well. So actually triple checked, I guess, you guys, planning board and a peer review. So if you do have more concerns about sort of those fine details, you are of course more than welcome to attend the planning board public hearing for this in early November.
So, okay, so this is still gonna go under the scrutiny of the planning board.
The stormwater management, that's it.
This, correct.
the planning board.
And then from there, they're going to bring in a second party to do the review?
That's correct. We were contacted by Beth about initiating that. And that, in fact, what I dropped off to you earlier was a check for that process. So that the peer review would start, and it 2 or 3 week process. And once the peer review's done, we'll be able to address any comments, should there be any about stormwater.
Match everything up, get all the
Exactly.
comments together, move forward.
Exactly,
Outstanding.
for the planning board effort, and the stormwater permit as well.
Nice.
I don't see any issues there.
I think,
So, Jessica, standard order of conditions with a special condition, that mentions the operations and management plan for stormwater.
Operation and maintenance. Yeah, that works. I did not draft the paperwork for tonight. Sorry. So I'll have to chase you guys for signatures another time.
well, you've been busy.
So I make motion that we issue a standard order of conditions with a special condition to mention, to the operation and maintenance plan of stormwater. For 18 Main Street, TWB 2024-194, DEP number 308-0717. Before anyone, or if someone wants to
I'll
second,
second that.
I second it. For discussion, I forgot to ask before I made the mention,
Erosion
Silt
control
fence.
on the side.
It's
No,
all
no.
outlined, isn't it, with your silt control and everything?
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I don't have the plan here, but it's in the plan set, a robust erosion control.
okay.
Uh,
We usually, talk about it sometimes in depth, sometimes
Sure.
not.
I didn't bring the specific plan, but.
No, that's fine. It's in our
No,
plan set.
it's in our
That's-
plan set, we're okay with it.
Okay,
And I know you guys went through it on your sidewalk,
Yeah.
so.
yes,
Um,
I thought that was pretty much, that was behind us.
I just want to make sure it is on record that it.
You were very thorough and professional, I appreciate it.
At second, roll call vote, please.
James Duran, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for your time, I appreciate it.
Outstanding presentation,
Thank you for helping us.
well articulated.
So I want to make a motion to close the hearing for 18 Main Street, TWP 2024-194, DEP number 308-0717 at 7:48 PM.
I'll second it.
Kevin, second it, roll call vote, please.
James Duran, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.
It wasn't too bad, it was smooth.
Thank you,
Thank
gentlemen.
you very much, appreciate it.
Jessica, I have an
Thank you.
envelope
Water?
from
Take a
from
look.
them to you and 2 envelopes.
Okay, thanks.
I'm gonna put them in the box.
It is a little warm up there, I gotta tell you.
Couple of them.
No, don't worry, we're here for you.
We had knowing now about the heat issue, I would have had you set up over there.
So, they shut off the bill for the air conditioning, is town hall and that
No.
You
bullshit?
have to turn it, you have to.
I know. Winter is here to change things around.
I just took my ACs out.
Yeah, I mean, it is almost Halloween. What?
I just took mine off, so.
Right.
Thank you.
Take care, thanks for coming to Townsend.
Thanks for having us.
It is 7:50, 2.2 volunteer response form, like Scott said. To fill vacancy on Concom with a term ending June 30th, 2026. Would you mind
I move my
pulling
chair.
a seat?
Come on, Mike.
Yep.
Come
Jessica,
on
what
up.
happened to all the chairs in here?
They were there earlier. I don't know.
There's only 4 at the big table.
Oh, there were more earlier. I don't know. Sorry.
Mike, make sure you get right in front of the tree thing, man. That's the best place to sit.
It's been so long, I don't remember how we do this. I'll let the other commissioners open the discussion. Or you can, Bob said, tell us why you would like to.
Well, I think I have a lot to offer. I've got a strong science background. My right now, my thing is wildflowers. I'm in the process of writing Mike Potts's wildflower book. I peck away at that. It might take me longer than I live to finish it, but at any rate, I'm working at it. It's one of those journeys, not necessarily the destination, and I'm having a good time on the journey. I'm familiar with the wetlands area that we were talking about. I think I do have some perspectives to offer, but I will admit that I'll have to, I understand what you were talking about at a certain level, but I don't have the expertise that you did in talking about drainage basins and all that stuff. So I'll be.
When you care about conservation, you care about the wetlands.
Yeah.
That means a lot. And where you reside, in particular in this town, is a very sensitive area and remarkably beautiful area. And, you've shown in your recent comings to the board that you really care about conservation as to how you're pursuing your project. And that means a lot.
And like Kevin said, you're in one of Townsend's national treasures. So I'm sure you understand that. And
Oh, yeah.
it's, that's why we do what we do. It's for our environment, it's for our wetlands, it's to keep Townsend moving in good direction in our environment. And if you're on board with that, let's make a motion to give them a raise and put them on the payroll.
What, do you have anything you want
Any
to add
comments,
or ask?
questions, or
No, not really.
any thoughts? We kind of feel like we know him pretty well. He's been here enough time.
Well, what stood out to me was the quick on the fly thinking on how we were gonna
Resolve that issue upon the water.
prevent erosion on that hillside. And,
Made sense. Let's move.
I get on my
Yeah,
hands and
most
knees
of the
every day
answers.
waiting for those little.
Right?
I think this morning,
nice out.
somewhere tilting up, it looked like maybe they were setting some roots down in there. I hope you water them twice a
Ask
day.
for
I hope
better
you-
year.
They already cut the trees out and everything? That's all done already?
No, the grass. is
No,
gonna grow
I gotta grow the grass first.
I had to reflect back to the meeting. I was getting way ahead of myself. I apologize.
So we meet twice a month, second and fourth.
Normally, twice a month, but we do actually, mid-November, December this year.
We're running a little short, which is good.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Uh,
I'll go back to
and
regular.
then we have site visits.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to the site visits. I think that would be an interesting.
Yeah,
part
get
of
you
the
up
whole
around
thing.
town.
So we have site visits. We try to schedule them typically Wednesdays. Sometimes we have to, it can vary. It's Thursdays.
And usually mornings,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
yeah, I
or
can.
later.
And I mean,
Try to
that's one of my
schedule.
questions. I don't know if this is the right time for it. It's like, so there are 2 site visits on November 6th.
Mhm.
I mean, how do I learn, will I learn about them?
You're gonna go to the site visit?
Come to the-
Well, no.
No.
You know,
How are,
where-
will that
where
be
and when?
communicated?
Pardon?
How will that be communicated?
Yeah,
to?
right.
So,
Through the meetings like we just did.
no.
No.
Oh.
Typically an email is sent out.
Okay.
Right.
Right now it's Jessica, but when we do
Text
hire
message.
or get somebody,
And then we also will, there will also be text messages.
There's no issue getting communication.
From member to member, kind of bounce around.
And we're not all perfect. We all forget. And
we can't all make it.
Yes.
Right.
We both have, him and I both have responsibilities of working where we have to work, and
Right.
sometimes it makes it difficult for us. Thank God we've got Jimmy and Pat back up.
It's all volunteer.
Yeah.
You know, it's 100% volunteer.
So, I don't wanna scare you away or anything.
No,
We have the
soft
right,
voices.
so we have, because this has been posted, for longer than 30 days, as a commission, we have the right to appoint you with a simple vote tonight. And,
Okay.
Simple majority vote.
and then what you have to do is get sworn in by the town clerk.
Kathy, sure, simple and easy.
She'll explain to you the requirements they have to do. There's some, conflict of interest. If, stuff you have to complete.
Okay.
And then, MACC, the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissioners, offer trainings, with a schedule that you can look up on their website. We will give, them your name and email address, and they'll contact you with how to set up an account. And then they have different class offerings where you can expand.
Okay, and Jessica mentioned that, in fact, I thought tomorrow, are you there, Jessica?
She's there. She's listening.
If she's
I'm
up
here.
like this, she's-
You know what, Mike? Because you gave me here. Let me do that. You made me feel guilty, so I'm here.
Yeah.
The headless horseman.
Yeah, I had some
We
questions
usually
about
cat
the,
jump.
what is it, MACC and
Yes.
the classwork and all that. Oh, the one thing, I did print out what you had sent me, except for the regulations from the state.
Yeah, those are
Because I was
very
ready to
long.
press the print button and it said 248 pages, and do we have the copies of that, or how do you work that? You just sort of check things as you need to, or?
Is this for what specific?
Yes, we check them as, we review pieces as we, have to deal with them. Cause there is a lot of stuff that is, associated with the coast salt marshes that
Right,
don't
right.
really apply to us. So I believe we have at least a copy in the office.
But you individually don't have copies, you just refer to the website when you need to.
You know, we rely on Jessica
Yeah.
to
Right.
interpret.
I
our-
like the electronic version because, you know, if I'm looking for a
You can
certain
search it.
word, I can just search for it rather than flipping through 300 pages. But it's pretty organized. It's very daunting to look at it, but it is pretty organized, in that it's broken down ultimately sort of by process and procedures, sort of the first of the three sections. And then the second section is all the coastal stuff that's not applicable to us. And then the third section is all the different jurisdictional areas. So there's a wetland category, there's a stream category, there's a floodplain category. And under each of those categories is sort of a definition of it, why it's important, why it's valuable to the environment. And then sort of what is allowable, what's not allowable. And it explains sort of the permitting process per each of those. So, you know, if you were looking at a project that is exclusively going to be impacting a bordering vegetated wetland, then you can just go to that section, which is only a few pages. So it does narrow it down pretty quickly.
Okay, got it.
And I have a ton of books. MACC, water,
Yeah,
soils,
So-
a lot of
Yeah.
different, lot of stuff. She's got a plethora in the office too.
So the classes, the town pays for them.
Yeah.
They pay MACC directly, so there isn't a reimbursement. Unless if something's changed, but you can take all the education you want.
okay,
It is
and they do
encouraged.
have requirements to be certified, which are on their website. They have so many, credits, and you can do it through a combination of courses of mandatory courses and, electives.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice to go to the MACC classes at either St. Anselm's or wherever. I think they're at Fort Devens. You get to meet a lot of interesting people from all the surrounding towns.
In the
A
state.
lot of
You'll never meet anybody like
Very-
him.
Oh, no, there's a lot of us. But there's a huge amount of people. You know, everything
There is
from
somebody
the
else out there like you?
turtles, you name it.
Yeah.
Birds, Audubon, all the different entities. There's a lot to it, you know?
Mhm.
So you will enjoy it.
Okay.
And there is somebody else out there like you.
Oh, boy. Jessica, Kevin's picking on. I mean, really? See, you just got the finger, Kevin.
Unacceptable.
Sorry, Jessica.
Strike one.
Okay.
So I make a motion, I'm gonna make the motion that we
Mhm.
appoint, Mike Potstead, to fill a vacancy with a term ending June 30th, 2026.
I'll second that.
James Thorne, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Jomala, yes.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Again, see
Congratulations.
Kathy to get sworn in.
Okay,
Sworn in is sworn in.
I have to, either me or Sabrina, I'm not sure, we have to actually issue a formal appointment letter and then he takes that to the clerk. So if I can do that, I will do that tomorrow. But I'm not sure if it has to be me or Sabrina, technically on behalf of the BOS. So I will find that out.
Seems though.
Why? Because the BOS didn't appoint.
I know, that's what I don't know that if that just automatically means that a staff person of CONSCOM can then issue an appointment letter or not. I've just never done it, so
Okay,
I don't know.
Can I ask the question?
what?
We do not have a BOS.
No, that's why Sabrina can do it.
She can do the
Yeah,
knighting.
well, no, we just knighted.
All right, but it's not,
I don't know, this is an
he can't come to
administrative,
the round table until he finishes getting,
he has to get sworn in. So,
right, and it's usually the selectmen are
No.
the, yes, it is, the selectmen are the board that will approve or disapprove of him.
no, we just appointed him.
Right, but it
Because
still has to go
no,
in
it
front
does
of us.
not.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Jessica?
Trust him. Yes, it's in our charter. If there's for an appointed board, if there is a vacancy that has been posted for greater than 30 days, which this one
Oh.
has been, then,
That's the
you know,
time.
said board shall, the charter's written so that
Just
that
did
board
short
shall
ago,
appoint.
right?
I had no idea. Our
Yeah,
past
yeah,
town
some-
manager told me.
I had
do
to-
it.
I had to
Somebody
be
just got
appointed.
appointed
I had to
because,
be appointed by the selectmen.
I don't remember how it worked.
yes, you did. But
Because
Mary
there was
Jane
there was a
Churchill
board.
just got appointed to the Historical Society because it was in accession of X amount of time and they approved him that night.
So
Bingo.
we've appointed
Yep,
Mike and
I understand
now
that.
the formal document has to be
Submitted.
submitted,
And he has to go down and see.
Kathy
with the letter
Done.
after he
with the
receives it,
letter,
Yeah.
which
Done.
emailed.
which Jessica may be able to do for you tomorrow even if
Yeah,
So,
she said, we'll try.
okay.
I'm gonna just ask two silly questions. Do you text message
I do.
with Mike or Jimmy?
don't stop, don't stop.
You're lucky if you get a,
I've been really making some headwise in the
and then your
computer
email,
world.
you check regularly?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I care about.
Mhm.
'Cause
I don't respond to those.
I don't either.
no, I know, that's fine.
Jessica's American.
Right.
Jessica sends it to my phone. It makes it so much easier.
Jessica, were you hoping I could learn how to use a computer by
Look at
now?
that smile.
Well, it
You
didn't
can't say
have-
goodbye to that
Am
smile.
I allowed to say no comment?
Yeah, geez, yeah, never mind.
We can't let you go. Look at that smile.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, our next meeting is November 13th.
Yeah. Do you want to?
7 o'clock.
He can come to our, he's actually
He's
now,
gotta get sworn in first, so.
yeah, but it doesn't mean he can't come to the next two sidewalks. Whether or not he is or he isn't sidewalk, sworn in, it would be a good experience for him, wouldn't it?
It's 2 weeks away, so he should be sworn in. He should
Okay,
be,
beautiful.
but yes, I agree with you, so I'm gonna move on.
Thank you.
It is 8:05. 3.2, request for determination of applicability, 76 Parker Hill Road, TWB 2024-195, applicants Jesse Chamberlain. Project is a request for a status of a stream at the rear of the property to be overturned and changed from a mapped unnamed perennial stream to an intermittent stream. Jesse Chamberlain is here to present to us and.
Oh, present to you?
Well, you're gonna tell us what you're doing,
Yes.
and all the facts.
The nice things you
Present
want
us with the
to
facts.
And I apologize, I didn't make it to the sidewalks, the only one this year I missed,
We were commenting about that,
huh?
that you did not make it to the sidewalk. So
I w-
counting back how many you
Oh,
missed.
actually, Jesse, I'm gonna read the legal notice first.
How terrible.
Pursuant to the Mass WPA and Townsend Wetland bylaws, Townsend Concom will hold a work session on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, during their 7 p.m. meeting. The work session will be held via Zoom and in person at Town Hall on a RDA filed with Concom by Jesse Chamberlain. The property is located at 76 Parker Hill Road, Assessor's Map 20, Parcel 1, Lot 6. The proposed project is for the request for the status of the stream at the rear of the property to be overturned and changed from a mapped unnamed perennial stream to an intermittent stream. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting.
Kevin, where is this?
Back it over,
I know I'm about to go, where is it near Benny Newton's old house?
Up
up top of the hill further, up by
To the
the
left?
old,
houses up, I think.
it'd be the old,
Yeah, it's on the left.
it's one of the, it's the
on the
old
same-
house, one of the ones that was owned by the Retna family.
Oh, so,
It was built in 2001.
okay, it can't be one of the.
No,
Not from the Retna
next
farm,
one up,
it's
next
gotta
one up from the Retna family.
going up the hill.
Halfway up to Grampy's house, that's how I know it.
Is it before the old house, is it before the old house on the left?
The old house on the left got torn down and was rebuilt, and there's a whole new house there.
Right,
No, we did that one.
Yeah,
The
it's
next
like
one
3
up
houses
was-
up, 2 houses
Yeah,
up.
3 or 2 houses up. There was actually, I think, 2 properties there. One was a really old house.
yep.
That got torn down, and I think they merged 2 out.
Okay, I know I know right where we are then.
Big,
I'm good.
colonial house there now, it's brand new.
Yeah.
There's some ponies.
The salesman, John Deere salesman, right?
No.
Was it next one?
Beyond, it's beyond Hatfields.
Oh, all
Beyond
right.
Hatfields.
I
Since
hope you can contribute to the conversation as well as these two.
All right,
See,
yeah, I'm with you, I'm with
Because
you.
it,
we know the Townsend better than
All right, I'm
anyone
with you.
else.
I'm-
We
I'm
just
with
need
you.
to get, I didn't go to the
Yeah.
sidewalk, so that's
Um,
why I had to get, and I apologize, I
so
don't miss them.
there are, Jessica, can you, inform us on what are the requirements to go from a perennial to an intermittent stream? And also about the phone call you had with,
DEP?
DEP earlier this week regarding this.
That's complicated. Okay. Hold on. I'm doing a control search of the WPA as we speak. I couldn't do this flipping through papers. All right. Okay, so ultimately the stream that is mapped at the rear of their property is a solid blue line on maps. When it is a solid blue line versus a dotted or a dashed blue line, the solid blue very often, almost always, indicates that it is a perennial stream. When it is a dashed or a dotted blue line, it indicates it is an intermittent stream. So this particular stream is a solid blue line, which means it's perennial and has that 200-foot riverfront area. So what Jesse's trying to do is have the commission review the materials submitted to see if that stream is intermittent. So how the process is sort of written in the WPA is the stream can be mapped in a program called USGS Stream Stats. And if it has a watershed size of half an acre or greater, it typically indicates that it is perennial. So yeah, so he brought that stream stats report, which shows it's like 0.01 or like 0.11 square miles. So well under half a square mile. And then the
Yeah.
other provision is that you have to do a documented field observation at least once per day over 4 days during a non-drought period that basically shows that the stream bed is dry. So he submitted several different months worth of consecutive photos that indicate a dry stream bed. So most recently there was a drought declaration, but the photos that he provided were from before that became into an effect.
Yeah, but these are from this year.
Right, June and July when it was
So
still.
of course, being the devil's advocate, if you took these pictures the same time last year, it would have been a big difference.
No,
Every year it's been dry.
So in other words, you've gone up there
Oh, yeah.
for X amount of years.
I've lived there for 7 years, and every year it's probably in the late June, early July time, it's dry. And when you have a huge rain and weeks of rain, it does start flowing again.
Yeah.
But it does dry up.
What I'm seeing here briefly in all these pictures, I'm seeing a lot of root scouring, a lot of all fern. I'm seeing exposed large rock. So when it does run, it must have a torrent to it. It must have a strong flow.
So the rains that we had last year, just to the south of that property, there's the culvert that goes underneath the road and, you know.
Yeah.
Ran heavy, but it was gone within.
Short
probably a
time.
week.
Yeah.
So that terrain on that side of town is very rocky. It's very
Rough,
juicy.
shaly.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of,
When you look at that, you tell me there isn't a strong water
Hold on,
flow
maybe
coming
we're-
down through there? I know, I had 6. It's out of control. You know, I mean, some of
No,
those pictures
so
are
you can
gonna
see- you can
demonstrate
see
a
where-
large amount of water that flows down there at any point in time.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing the intermittent perennial, but when it does, and it is,
So that's acceptable, Jim. So, you know,
Yes.
perennial stream is typically going to have a groundwater input, which allows it to flow year round. Intermittent or ephemeral streams are those that are more prone to flowing in response to precipitation events. So if you're seeing, you know, observations in the photos of, you know, piling of leaves and materials and torrents, then that
Mhm.
does kind of give you an indication that it is more of a precipitation fed waterway.
correct. In one of those particular pictures, you could see leaf and debris 3 to 4 feet in the up on the tree. So all I'm saying is that when it's running, but as you said, it's a very rare occurrence,
Well,
only during the torrents and heavy rain.
exactly.
yeah, that's fine.
So the reason I was originally starting to try to build a garage in a certain 200.
Yeah, Jessica brought me up to speed.
Yeah, so that's why I went down this, and I'm doing it myself, you know, I'm not hiring a
Yep,
contractor, so I'm trying to, I don't wanna say do it inexpensively, but I'm trying to do the right
you're
thing.
trying to
I'm trying
do it
So I
inexpensively.
could have
like-
done a notice of intent, but it's another $4,000 to $5,000 to hire somebody.
Gotcha.
You see all the work that they had to do for all that, and I'm trying to not have to spend that money on that.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
And the fact that the stream does run dry, even this year, last year it didn't get a ton of rain, but we had a lot of torrential rains this year too.
Yeah, there was a lot of groundwater still, because the river was very high, and you kept saying, whatever brook that runs next to your property,
Lock.
Lock Brook, you kept saying it's gonna go dry, and the amount of water that was going through it in May.
It was,
June,
yeah, I was surprised it was still
flowing. I
going
was like,
strong,
Jimmy, this isn't going dry.
but it is
Now it's gonna
now,
go dry.
100%.
Is
It
this
is
just
dry.
shown, or is
100%.
this,
What?
is this the point of its inception?
Yeah. Well, that's the assumed point of inception, but this is also.
Now, did you happen to go out there, take pictures once a month with the dated newspaper on it?
4 days, and it's. got-
So I have all the
Stamped.
pictures which are dated on your phone.
Okay, then, gotcha.
So, and I.
No, same idea.
Yeah. so
Some
they're all
engineers
timestamped.
get real tricky about it so they can prove their point. Fitchburg, you know, here it is dated on that ground in the middle of that dried up brook.
Because and the reason I'm asking is, we built that house, we own that one, right?
Yeah.
How long have you lived out there?
We built that.
7 years. Sorry,
I
moved there.
took an excavator up there and sprayed the best, it was moving very little bit. So, you know, I guess, you know, dries right out,
No, yeah, you're right.
you know.
Jessica, you also had a
I hate to get
conversation with
reacquainted,
DEP.
because we built that house, we actually own that one
Oh, really?
below you.
Oh,
And that little
the gate?
intermittent stream crosses
Yeah.
right there at it. And it goes, runs and it dries up, runs and stops.
When there's a torrential rain, it comes out like the hill.
Yeah, it comes right off the slope, gets on it, runs down, and then
Within a
then it's
week,
gone.
Yep.
week
Gone.
it stops, and, you know, you have to follow, they dry up.
I'm okay with it.
What I tried to
I
do
just
with
had
the
to
pictures.
really find my way there, but
Yep.
be certain that I knew what I was looking at.
Jessica, you there?
Mm-hmm.
You
I was
share
just
what-
letting them chat,
I know,
stream
I know.
talk.
I know. Thank you.
I mean, this is probably just going to add confusion to things, so I don't know if you actually want me to mention this, but I'll start and you guys can just stop me. So this is the first stream reclassification that you've considered, any of you, and including me. So I didn't really know how to initiate this, so I contacted DEP a few weeks ago, and was told by someone at DEP to do the classification process through an RDA. So that's what I then communicated to the applicant. And then, yes, 2 days ago, I got a phone call from the same person at DEP that then said, oh, well, at DEP, they use a different GIS mapper to review streams. And on the one that she was looking at, it showed the stream was intermittent. So all of these efforts then were unnecessary, sort of.
So her mapper showed different than yours.
So don't shoot the messenger.
Original map.
So
No,
yeah,
no,
so
that's fine, no, that's in our favor, I mean, in the.
well, yeah, so So the
Right,
two,
right.
you know, it's a USGS map at the end of the day, right? That's what you're using is the
Yeah.
USGS map. So in, you know, the public map source that the state of, or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts promotes to use, it's called Mass Mapper. So Mass Mapper has a USGS option. So on that map, and then specifically on the USGS website where you can view and download the topo quads, both of those sources showed it as a perennial stream. And then apparently there's this other map source that DEP exclusively uses that has some USGS information, but it shows that this particular stream was mapping as intermittent.
Intermittent.
So, I mean, we weren't like misled. It was just caught too late, I guess. So, sorry,
But that's
Jesse.
interesting, different.
But anyway, so it
Different.
works in the applicant's favor, and then
No,
Well, I did
So-
a survey.
we learned
Hold on,
to.
let Jessica finish.
so the two options, the original way of approving this, if you guys choose to approve it as intermittent, would be through you know, taking the RDA request and issuing it as a what did I write? Positive 2A, I think, which basically says that
Yeah.
like you guys agree with all these findings.
Two.
Or alternatively, now that the mapper that DEP uses shows it as an intermittent stream, you could issue I think it's a -6 determination, which basically means this whole application's not applicable. It's nothing in our jurisdiction.
A -6.
-6.
So I think it's -6. I'm not looking at the form, but I mean, I would recommend that because, you know, the applicant prepared all this information and it's already how I drafted the forms. I would recommend going with the positive 2A, which still means at least for the next 3 years that you guys agree to it being an intermittent classification.
It could change in 3 years.
Well, after that, do they have to
Doesn't
come
matter.
back?
it wouldn't matter.
So I don't know if
That's
you,
my, that's my
it's probably
question.
really confusing. Jessica, after 3 years,
They'd have to come
do
back.
they have to come back?
Depends what the maps show at that time.
Uh-huh.
But if DEP still uses their secret source, and it shows intermittent still in 3 years or whenever, then I think it's safe to assume no, they would not need to come back unless they wanted to do something within 100 feet of the stream. Of course, that changes things, but
Then why can't we give it a -6?
I mean, both options are valid for 3 years. So I don't think it really matters, but you know, since the request is written to overturn the status of a stream,
Yeah, but
I
in
think
another map, the status of the stream is what he's requesting, the one with DEP.
Right.
So,
It's a tough one.
and the last time he went through this was on Dudley Road with Sean Tossi. We had to go through the changing of a wetland area. So, and he did get approval. I'm okay with this.
Pat, you attended the sidewalk.
Yes,
Did you have any questions, concerns?
Mm-mm. It was, dry when I went to go see it, and I mean, you could tell, that there was water at one time, just the way it laid out, but it was bone dry.
You didn't see any
No.
what,
No.
I did never attend the sidewalk, but we own adjacent.
yeah, but you're 100% familiar with what goes on up there.
I was familiar with that crossing,
Yeah,
with what I was doing while we were working there on that site.
and of course, as kids, we went on both sides. We were at Old Man Hatfield side, or we were in the back where the monkeys were.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we go way back. There's a story with every sidewalk, trust me.
All right, so I'm gonna,
True.
Why don't you make a motion, Jim, for the,
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a motion,
doesn't matter, 6 or whichever way, right?
I'm gonna make a motion to issue a positive 2A,
2A.
with a note indicating CC overturns the, perennial classification for 3 years.
I'll second that.
Yeah, James Dorn proof.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
And we
Yeah,
did
Jim
establish after 3 years, they will have to reapproach or to see what the classification stands.
Yes. It's number 2.
Right, so that could deviate in 3 years. So DEP could go to a perennial and right, so
After 3 years, I'd have to come back and
reestablish. See what the current status of it is. Cause like
Yeah.
we said, Mass Mapper is saying,
No, there's nothing
Perennial?
there, there's nothing there.
so I'm
Indeed.
doing this to build a garage.
Yes,
Once I build
right.
a garage, it's
yes.
done.
Right now it
It
shows
doesn't
us,
matter. It's a moot point in 3 years for you.
right, Roger, yeah,
I didn't want to say it, but,
I already did,
I don't have a problem. It's a moot point.
moving forward.
And
I'm
everything,
gonna go home and
the
have
grass
some
is growing
more candy.
and, everything is established.
all right, so,
I'm not gonna believe you anymore.
Jessica, did you hear, Pat's vote?
Pat she had a second, what?
Pat's vote on this? We got to Pat and someone talked. And I just want to make sure you heard it.
Was it a yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. 10-4, copy that.
All right, we will sign this and just go fill out any of the other parts. And get it out to you. And we have 2 openings if you're interested.
Actually, I have no time.
Oh, come on, we don't either, we only,
Neither
we
we.
show up.
It's only twice a month, I mean,
And obviously you can see, we're a lot of fun.
All right,
I Provide the goodies.
3.3, Townsend Wetland Bylaw fee schedule review.
Yeah, we're all,
We really should try to hash this out despite,
not,
I know, but
See what side of the end.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you,
Have a
Jesse.
great night.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
you too.
Rob.
Oh, thank you.
Jessica, do you just want me to write on the sheet what we think it should be, or? I'm not gonna make anyone happy doing it.
You can do that, and or I can edit, I guess. Why don't you do both?
Well, didn't we review some of the other towns as far as what they're getting, and we're way behind the curve?
No, they are.
No, we're the opposite.
Oh,
Yeah,
surprise town, all right.
They're actually jumping on it.
Pat, do you need a copy of what the existing?
yeah, I didn't get to print it. I was trying to be careful with my
It's okay.
computer.
Can you share it with Mike, please?
Yeah.
Um,
I remember in by heart, because some of these increases I did 14, 15 years ago.
we did some 2 years ago
Yeah,
and a year ago.
yeah.
So
that's why I actually now say, yeah, it's good that we're at least, I mean, current to a degree.
yeah, so Jessica, I think administrative approval across the board should be $50. And then anyone here at this table, please stop me if you disagree.
No, I agree.
Pat?
I'm sorry, I was signing what you're doing, administrative approval.
So administrative approval right now is
Yeah.
$30.
The fee
Jessica,
should be $50.
well, how much time can you spend?
$50 ain't enough.
I mean, we've done a few of these, and just between like project introductions and running down the form, you have to do a site visit. You know, I mean, they're very simple projects, so probably at least I would say 3 hours probably of effort.
We can't shock the system by doubling it.
No,
Right, but I think where you were with that number is good. But
I would say since we adopted this like over a year and a half ago, we've done like 3 or 4 of these only. So just if that puts anything into perspective.
Right. And like Jessica's been setting, you know, the amount of hours it takes to do an NOI.
You've done 4 of them.
something you don't do all the time, but
Right, I think,
the ones that she does all the
So you're
time.
going from,
I was just going across the board here. I know one of the goals Jessica had was trying to consolidate.
Yeah.
This is just the first line in it, and so $50 for administrative approval. Kevin's
reasonable,
right, it's not enough, but
but it's reasonable. And it is,
Well, I
like you
think-
said, a shock.
I think they ought to have I think they ought to flat race for the RDA's of $150 right across them, rather than, you know,
I agree.
because we gotta bring the cost.
Jessica?
Okay, wait, so hold on. Administrative approval, $50 for everything.
RDA ought to right across.
Hold
the
on,
board.
just, you got, I don't wanna have to go back to it.
I'm just updating the Word document as we're going, just to be efficient. Okay, so got that. So RDAs, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're all pretty similar. You know, like the process to follow is similar. So,
And these prices do not include advertising?
correct.
Okay.
What the posting with the,
Because the
No
advertising,
advertising.
advertising's got wicked expensive.
when I did mine, I think it was, no, it wasn't that. I think it was 85.
What?
Yeah, I think they're between about 70. It depends how many words you put into it, but they're between about $75 to $100.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I just paid 400 and 400 a low 400s and the high 400s.
Yeah, the planning boards they have a more, yeah,
Oh,
you have a lot more that goes into it. But for ConsCom, we try to just keep it simple because no one reads it, and yeah.
Not true.
No.
All right, so,
We read it.
you know, an RDA, Kevin, you said 150?
I don't know, we need to.
I don't see
chat.
it.
I don't think that's off the wall.
What is it right now?
A existing single-family
50.
house or farm is 50, new construction or redeveloped single-family house is 60, multi-single family house,
120?
is 120, and all of the projects are 170.
I don't wanna pay 150 more than anybody else, we bring a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
obviously won't work,
Right.
but I can see the
But,
cost.
your
So
building
where are you
permit's what,
looking for the-
$2,500?
Which
Yeah,
one are
it's
you
not
looking to
awful, too.
increase, Jimmy?
Everything's off.
Which one? I mean,
All, well,
so
Kevin
in
said
other words, you're gonna
150
go
across the
50,
board.
so now you're gonna go 50, then you're gonna
No.
go to 110, this one's
No.
gonna go to 170, what?
150,
across the
150,
board.
150, 150.
So in other words, you're gonna take the 170 and bring it to 150?
Yeah,
I mean, you could, because all other projects tend to be quite large, so you could, have the residential be 150 and then all other projects be 225 or, whatever, but that's an
And
option.
I don't know why we don't have a flat price right across the board.
That's what I'm wondering. It's,
well, because then you have like,
there's more involvement in each one as it goes up.
RDA is not necessarily, NOIs definitely.
Yes.
The more complex the project, yeah, but
you can put 4 hours into an RDA and not even notice it.
easy, yeah. Oh, our RDA is probably
More than that.
6 to 8 hours at minimum.
All right, I don't
At
see,
that $30 an hour cost,
go across the board.
and that's not even cost. That's-
150
cost
across the
is
board.
higher.
I see what you're saying, and the only thing that disrupts me a little bit is when you go to 170. So
No,
you're reducing that 120?
No, I agree with Jessica. All of the projects should be 225 or 250.
All right, so in other words, we're going 50 up on every one.
No,
Mm-mm.
150 on each is going to be the total for each one up until all of the projects, which will.
So
then
now,
be
all are you gonna go to 2.25 there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm following you. Okay. 150. 150. All right, and 150. All right, so that's going up 20.
Does everyone have a copy? The copier's right outside if not everyone has their own copy.
Sharing.
No,
we're halfway.
Mike and Jimmy are sharing and.
Okay.
But it's awful hot in here,
Yeah, and Jimmy's had literally a bowl full of candy.
I'm
So
awful.
the sugar is just.
It's.
I can hear the rappers through the Zoom sound,
Kevin, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 Reese's, so I'm not the only one. I can't believe we don't have the, you're gonna miss us, I know you are.
Y'all are fun.
It is
Yeah.
literally 80 degrees in here.
Is it really?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, it was 96 earlier during our bid opening, so.
All right, so abbreviated
adjourned.
notice of resource area delineation, ANRAD. How many of these have we done?
I have done one since I've been here.
Which one is that again, James?
ANRAD, abbreviated notice of resource area delineation.
Been a long time, even in my corner. And how much is it? What are we looking at on that?
125 a linear foot
350.
delineation, maximum of 125.
I'd like to hear what some of the other towns are at. Do you know just what?
Well, yeah, I have copies of that, but not every town is,
True, but
they don't charge it, but their fee schedules are, and they're harder to follow.
Yeah, I was looking at them too.
See, now they max out here, 125 max, 350 max. All others have it, right? Big variable on these last two.
So that one, for example, the first one, 125 per linear foot, 125 max. So that's basically saying there's 100 feet worth of boundary delineation on somebody's property, which is probably not. I would think that's below average. Yeah.
Right.
So I think you can keep the per linear foot, but up the max if you wanted.
Yeah.
Just because we don't do enough of these to really make an educated decision on what it should cost. So
make
yeah.
both of them, or make the existing single family home. I feel that 250 max.
75 up.
I guess, I'm in agreement with a couple $100.
Jessica, when you have to do an ANRAD, is it there usually an RDA or NOI associated with it?
No. So ANRADs are used more exclusively if you just want your wetland delineation confirmed outside of any permitting process. So maybe, some developer buys a 30-acre parcel and wants to know where all the wetlands are before they sink more costs into designing it for subdivision purposes or something. So if you're kind of seeing if you're going to doom yourself or not.
I do remember the one we did for this. It was off of 119.
Yeah, right behind the highway. Yep.
Yep.
So that was in advance of them doing an ANR, a subdivision of the lot.
Which one was that behind the town barn?
Yes. To the south.
To the right of the,
Yes.
to the east of the.
Okay.
Dive in there,
Okay.
to the right side.
All right.
So. Yeah, that I think 250 max would be appropriate then. If you're obviously in this planning stages and it's just part of the engineering cost.
So you're going to existing family houses / or farm. You're gonna go up to 250
with the sweat.
I'm cooking. So you're gonna go from the 125 to 250?
Yes, we've only done one in the last 3 years. And
yeah, I can't even remember one. Yeah. That was when I was out, I'm sure, right? If it was with it, I would have known, I would have remembered it. So, all right, 250 it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, guys, I gotta hop off real quick. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Don't yell at him. I was really hoping she.
If they can hear us, we're in a meeting.
What do you want to call that?
To me when I
told you want to call it 200?
But I think 250 because there is still legwork. Okay, 200.
Oh, so I gotta
$200.
cross out the 250 and go what I originally said was 200.
On the
350
on a
max.
redeveloped single family house, somebody's buying a house. They're going out there and they want to rehab it. They're gonna pay 350.
I say that we can leave that.
Oh, I guess you probably. Thank you.
Okay.
You don't have to do any of it.
No, I get you. Needs to be there to cover costs, but.
And the way I'm looking at it is we've done one.
I'd go $200 on one.
Business as usual.
On the single family house or farm.
Yeah.
Yep.
White Gaff the farmer. And
nice
these
job,
are 350 alone.
Yep.
And
then just leave the other ones alone, you never get them.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Plus
that's good.
Plus you're the 250.
Now you come down the line. Now, notice of intent, $110. She can't even do paperwork for that.
No.
So, to cover the cost, that should be $150.
So in Lunenburg, they have an advertising fee, obviously. Application fee for filing a notice. Oh, that's after a violation. They have so $40 advertising fee, a bylaw fee of $25, inspection and office fees of $100.
You're up there to the $150.
Yeah, you're already at $1.50.
Right, yeah, over that.
Right.
So, and then,
300?
no, you don't want to add all.
Right.
So you're at 165, and then basics, oh, that's enforcement orders, never mind.
No,
But that doesn't make sense.
150.
Hold on, that
no.
doesn't make sense.
Bring her up to 150.
I still don't think that's enough.
No,
Especially on an NOI.
Can't tack the townspeople out, or
Why?
the applicants.
I'm back.
$200?
Kevin's getting mad with me.
No, I'm on the other end of this all the time.
Well, I know
What do you wanna
that.
be, $200? Is that what you think we need to be? It's $200, make it $200.
Wouldn't
We're
it
all
be,
done, I'm all done crying.
Jessica, can you give us a basic idea of with an NOI, existing single-family house or farm, where are you with the 110? Are we losing money? Or
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Oh, yes.
how much?
A
It's
lot.
costing us
Oh my
over
gosh.
$200, not just,
In other words, would you say twice as much?
yeah. but
If that was 200.
Oh, more. I would say 8 times as much, but can't do that. No, I would say for an NOI, I mean, kind of a basic standard, like, oh, I want to put a pool in, or I want to put an addition in.
Yeah.
That's probably 10 or 12 hours. If it's a little more, like for example, the Wallace Hill, the horse paddocks, like that's already been like a solid 15 hours, and we haven't even issued an order yet. So.
And how many hours did you say?
15.
Probably like 15, just like, because just how much goes into reviewing it.
250.
No,
No, I think that's too much of a shock to the system. You
I know,
are right.
I know.
But at the same time,
Go down here to new
160.
construction, construct or redevelop single family home.
so
Guys,
yes,
200?
existing,
200,
hold on. Yes, existing single family house or farm, 200. But for a new construction or redeveloped family house, there's a per square foot disturbance in resource area buffers. Maybe that we shouldn't even have that. Maybe it should just be, a flat 300. You're done. I don't know. No, Kevin, I don't recall.
I'm not disagreeing with you on the $300 because what
They
she's
just get
got
rid of the square
in
footage.
manpower. And I'm not, just go with it, and people are gonna have to.
But if we go with
If
those
people,
numbers, we
if people
need to
come and
have an
ask me, I'm just
ability
gonna
to
say,
say
why don't we just
why.
bill you by the hour then?
Right.
It'll be $600.
Is this something we're doing every year?
The
No,
review of the,
no, that's,
No,
fee schedule?
we
Yeah.
haven't raised them.
We did it last year.
yeah, but it was
We didn't raise this,
Which-
these
not
last year.
all
By
of them.
much,
There were
right.
particular ones we did. We only did what, 2?
Effective September 19th, 2023, and yes, I believe it was only it was.
There was two, wasn't it?
But
it-
Cause I was gonna say, each year you could go up, but we only did 2 last year.
You never get any of these multifamily ones. So just leave them alone.
yeah, because they're already high enough.
I'm with Kevin. Granted, I've only been here for 3 years, but we rarely see, you don't see like single family houses coming in as a bunch of NOIs. I mean, I know we've had like the Alyssa Drive subdivision and Coppersmith, but those are so few and far between. So you guys could potentially,
You're
oh
right.
gosh, like just completely strike this whole category.
What, and just have a single line item for notice of intent?
Because, what you would do for a subdivision, right, is you would, or what I've seen done in other subdivisions in town is someone pulls an NOI for the, sort of we'll call it the parent parcel. You pull an NOI to put in your stormwater infrastructure, your utilities, and your road. And then once you go and subdivide the lots, say it's a 20 lot subdivision, maybe there's 5 lots that will be within the 100-foot buffer. So then those 5 lots get their own individual NOIs on it too. So, so in that case, you would have one big NOI for all the utilities as an all other project. And then the smaller new construction lots would be under the one new constructed single family house. So I don't see what type of project would utilize the multi-single family houses.
Well, you never
Column.
know, we get 1 or 2 pretty soon.
So I say we leave those be. What do you want to do with the
Well-
165? We're basically more concerned at looking at the existing single family house or farmhouse with the NOI at the 110.
$300 to help cover the cost of the
You're looking at,
paperwork.
We barely bring the number.
That doesn't cover the town's costs.
that's
$300 doesn't cover the town's costs.
I'm just saying,
If
when somebody sees 180, 190, they're gonna wanna understand and a reason for it. Because it will have to come out.
if it takes 6, 8 hours.
So in other words,
a lot
we
of
gotta
cases
tell
to
them.
do this, and our staff costs are X amount of dollars per hour,
Mhm.
that $300 don't cover. I guess my argument with the taxpayer in the town would be, why don't we just bill you by the hour for the time?
Oh, then it would get touchy.
And then,
And then you're gonna bill them
And
once,
that's
it's gonna
just-
be $600,
and that's
and
just
then
the
they're gonna
time.
say, geez, I wish that I would have kept my mouth shut, and left my
Right.
$300.
And that's just the time we're trying to talk about.
Minimum.
Not even the mileage that is
No,
reimbursed, which is,
Minimum.
You know, I get it.
So in other words, Jessica, would you
300
say,
short, but I think
300
that's an
is-
awful jump from where it was. I think we should get it to that point.
and don't
It'll
forget,
help
we also
cover
have
the
a
town's
25%
cost as
surcharge on applications within an area of critical environmental concern or riverfront area.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys
Yeah,
on,
at least-
not wanting to like double basically, but again, I mean, it's not like this is the last time you'll ever do this.
Kevin's
Um,
looking for triple.
So how dare you? No, so you could increase it, but with the intent that you'll increase it again in a few years too. So if increasing it really by any means now will improve and increase your revenue. So
Because costs ain't gonna go down just like us in business.
right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think,
that's-
I know, Kevin, you're kind of saying like use the lump sum approach, which is easier, it's cleaner, but using the plus a nickel or a dime per square footage of disturbance, that also incentivizes people to try to minimize their footprint of disturbance too.
That's actually a good point.
And you can go back
Yeah.
and remeasure the disturbed areas.
All right, I'm a little sketchy on the 300 mark, but I 250,
Pat,
260,
what
what
are
do you
your
think?
thoughts on the notice of intent?
Jimmy,
Fee
yeah,
schedule.
yeah.
You're right. I mean,
the
just
town's
listen to
losing money.
what she spends in time and hour with especially NOIs. RDAs are a whole different, they can vary, these can change. Right, Jessica, as far as with an NOI?
Yes. Some are simple. The one that we just got in today is for an addition on a house.
You didn't
That's
know,
really
no
simple. But
worries.
this one, like the Starbucks, it's obviously a lot more complex.
What is it,
And it is gonna escalate. No.
Oh,
I think we should do the 300.
Well, Pat spoke, that's what we're going with.
Speak of Pat, what did you say, Patty?
I think we should do the 300.
You and Kevin are
I'll go with
tough
that.
customer.
For both of them?
No, 200 on the, 200 on the,
Am I not allowed to talk yet? or no?
So you can make a public comment.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you for the comment.
yeah,
So the idea of billing by the hour, I think that's a little tricky.
No,
because
no,
then you
I-
have to, but
I was just
I'm
using
throwing
that
this
as a-
out as
yeah.
a possible, if Jessica were to look at each category and sort of get the average, some are shorter, some are longer, get the average, and then for each of these categories, and you decide, well, how much per hour should you charge for each of those hours? So let's say in one category, she comes up with 6 hours, and you decide that $50 is, per hour is a reasonable amount of money, so it would be, what, $300? Another category might be only 2 hours on average, and so that would be $100, you know?
Unfortunately, there isn't much of that, right, but, you know, most of that stuff is, you're probably at a 4-hour minimum, right, Jess?
Yeah.
You know.
Although I wish, Mike, I wish I made $50 an hour. That'd be nice. Put in a good word.
I get it, but, you know,
If I got you $50 an hour, would you stay? I got told here in town hall.
You do, yeah. With the land use coordinator.
Jessica, we haven't told Pat, she was a few minutes late, Jessica's gave her notice and
she's leaving us.
How dare you, just
Well,
because
okay.
you're not
Oh, gosh.
the baby.
Guilt trip.
I mean.
I know,
really?
right? Crazy.
I
The nerve.
told you she wasn't gonna take it well.
Oh my God, I can't
You're
believe
not
that.
going to have to be the one to calm her down after this.
Well, see, now instead of having a nice little baggie of treats on my windshield tomorrow, they're going to be smashed against the front of my car.
What do you mean? I'm gonna put eggs on one cook.
I told you,
So
it's going sideways.
again, you know, there is
Let's
a
bring them up
surcharge.
to 300, Bo. Let's be done with this.
300
I can
for
see-
both,
Wait,
or-
no.
110, 300,
Hold on,
and
hold on.
165, 300.
Pat,
I don't feel good about that, Jimmy.
No, it should be. I think it should be 400. I'm going up higher. Well, that's
I'm
165.
a little
If
upset
you
with
do
Jessica,
both of
but
those,
don't
it
take
brings
it
you
out
to
on the
330,
customers.
right?
Where's
So
that?
you might as well go to 400 because there is more involved in it,
wow.
I
We've not seen this side, Pat.
you
Right?
know?
It might be the heat in this room that's
No,
doing this.
I'm fine with the heat.
Counter rappers.
What, I gotta stick with we don't want to shock the system.
Right.
Well, then 330, because that doubles it.
The triple.
Trips it.
No,
We're talking about the regular existing homes. You're killing
165.
Kevin here.
and 165 is.
Yeah, 165 times 2. She's right.
Yeah,
I
No,
think-
I thought we were talking about the existing single family home or farm. I'm sorry.
No, we're doing 300 for that one.
Okay.
So what,
Let me get on
so what do you
board
wanna make the other, you wanna make the,
330.
one new constructed or redeveloped single family homes, $300. I don't know about 330.
Well,
Wanna
this,
keep
the
300
first
bucks
one.
across the board?
Yeah,
Mhm.
300 bucks across the board
except
for
for the
those
new,
two.
the new construction, you still have 5 cents a square foot of disturbed area.
Yeah,
5
so
cents?
the 300 is, the
Oh,
300
5
is
cents, yeah.
more than that anyway, because by the
Right.
time they get done with us, it's usually
Do
400.
you follow along with that, Jessica?
So you want 300 for the second one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
Plus.
right.
The
Plus
5
5
cents a
cents.
square
There
foot.
is a
All
variance.
right.
Okay, so I still had 200 for existing single family house, but you want to raise that to 300.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, and then the next one, the one new construction is a 300 base plus 5 cents.
They
Right.
stay the same.
Yep.
Okay, and then multi-single family
Why can't you
is,
make that just a flat price of $300? It's, you're not talking a lot of money at 5 cents a foot.
No, you're not.
Come on, Jimmy, stop it.
2,500.
so say, okay,
square feet.
so say,
Hold on, let her talk.
say you're gonna put a new house, right? And lawn and septic and a driveway. So say you put a 2,000 square foot home plus,
10,000 square feet.
you want 10,000? All right, so,
If you're disturbing 10,000 square feet,
okay, so say disturbing
Yeah,
10,000
that's
square
a foot.
feet times 0.05, that's $500. So you have a $300 base plus a $500 buffer
Okay.
charge or whatever. So that's $800.
that's a
So,
lot of money.
It is.
I also
I-
don't see.
I think we just go 300 right across.
but
yeah.
that's, I mean, at the grand scheme, it's a whole new house cost plus the building permit associated with that. So $800
It's expensive.
maybe isn't a ton in the grand scheme. I don't know, you guys, but
When are you leaving us?
Wednesday.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
But just make it $500, just make it $500
No, I
with the
can't
square foot price.
concentrate.
Wednesday
I
of
know,
next
I know,
week.
I agree with
They're
you.
still paying a lot. It's cheaper to raise the price to have a flat fee for $500. Then you don't have to sit down and try to figure out the square footage. Oh, it was only 6,000 feet. Oh, it's eight, no, I got 8,200.
Yeah.
You know, 5 cents adds up,
It does.
you know.
When
So
you're
if I
getting
can
into
just charge
higher square
$500, $500 a lot. But no matter how many square feet you disturb, a flat fee.
Let me
what's the
look up,
most?
what the DEP charges, because remember, you still get,
Yeah,
so we get 2 fee checks for every application, for every NOI application. We get the check from the fee schedule that is in front of you right now, the Townsend Wetland bylaw fee.
the state,
Yeah.
And then we also get the state filing fee. So I'm gonna look at what the state filing fee is for like a new construction.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump down, because obviously, we're not gonna do
we're
anything
gonna
with the
address
multi.
this tonight.
No, we're almost done, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
But the multi-single family
I'd leave them alone.
homes in the, all other projects,
Yeah, leave
you
them
know,
alone.
those we're not gonna
We'll
mess with.
table them.
No, we don't need a table, it's
No.
per lot.
Yeah, so just let it go.
But the request for phasing of project filing per phase, I think we don't have anything under
No.
existing single
You won't
family
have either.
farm. What?
No, you're not gonna. They're gonna be few, they're gonna be scarce, let's put it that way.
Good.
Mm.
Well, but there is extensive amount of work when you have to explain to DEP the phasing aspect and then monitoring it and then this and that and follow paperwork.
Okay, Jim.
What are you seeing, Jess?
Hartley, can I have screen sharing permissions?
So
Sure,
yes,
one
Kevin,
moment.
you're right. You're not gonna see many of them, but we should be able to cover the cost if we have to. No, I'm fine, you know, we make simple revisions now and we can revise it again next year, so. Yeah, phasing, let's
Let it sit till next year, cause you're not gonna have
let the
any of it.
phasing section,
Let that sit till next year, cause you're not gonna have any this year.
yeah, no, you're right. All right,
Can you guys see this?
yes. Oh, they're one of those?
Can you read it?
Yes, so
Okay.
what, Lunenburg does it like this?
No, sorry. Oh, I don't know.
This
this is the WPA forms or fees. So we get, for lack of better math, we get about half of the bolded fee, and then about half goes to the state. There's a little bit more complicated form, but for your purposes, just half these numbers, and that is the amount that we get at the town level.
Yeah, so we get $250, we get $300 for that filing, the town gets back from the state. Am I right, Jess?
So yeah, so for construction of a single family house, we get the amount that we end up getting is actually $262.50.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then for work on a septic system, which that's 80% of the NOIs we get.
Correct.
It's half of this plus $1,250, so it's like what, almost $70 or $67.50, I think. So
Okay.
So anyway, just for your reference, so some if a community does not have a wetlands bylaw, they exclusively rely on their share of these fees.
Oh, absolutely.
Some communities, I think, also just opt to like double the fee. So whatever their portion of this category fee is, multiply by 2, and that's your submittal fee. So
No, you're telling the truth.
Right. Look, we're on the OOCs now.
Submission for a revision for a very minor modification to OOC. I think the prices that are there are fair, because it doesn't take that much.
Well, if we're nicking into all the other ones, I'll kick these up to 15.
Yeah, minor modifications that we still have to process and bring it back and revise the documents.
$50 across the board.
$50 across the board.
Yeah.
Pat,
Yeah, that's
Pat's
fine.
I'm waiting for Pat to say 100 across, but
Yeah, I say
Wait a minute.
shoot across the board 5 hours.
all right. The request for amended or extension of order of conditions.
So these are kind of different actually, because amending an order of conditions, you have to hold a whole new public hearing and do another legal ad. Whereas an extension, they're kind of two separate processes.
So you're looking at 85 for the posting.
Well, so the request for amended should be 100 and extension 50.
Single family farm again, what are you looking at? You're going from 55 up to what?
100.
Well, separated into two separate rows
Yeah,
for amended and extension.
yeah,
For the amended portion, 100 for the first two, and 200 for the other two, and then under the extension row, just make it 50
You're gonna go-
across the board.
okay.
Does that make sense to everyone?
Well, it's reasonable. It's not too obtrusive.
Jessica,
You wanna, again, look at that?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, with the amended, I think sounds okay. The extension, I mean, with that, we still go out and do a site visit for compliance.
75.
And then do the paperwork too, and then the extension, we have to make sure that it gets recorded. So,
For a single family house,
For a
make it
sidewalk,
100.
that's an
Hold on, too many
hour.
people. I'm over, yeah.
Make it 100 and 100, and then multifamily is $200. $200 be all other projects, $200.
Yeah. Is that for both of them?
Yeah, 200 for
For
those,
2-2.
100 for the,
Jessica, on a
Yeah.
sidewalk, what would you say you average out?
Oh, yeah.
An hour for a
Right here.
sidewalk
Okay.
Ish.
yeah.
ish?
no, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the size of the site too. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's just building a new house down on Pierce Road, like that's pretty small, but an extended order, other sites have for all other projects. Yeah, it could be like a transportation project or something, or a utility project. So
All right,
anywhere from like 15 minutes to 45, maybe, yeah, or more.
Okay, okay.
So 100 across the board for both? Or separated?
100
separate-
across, 100 across for the existing single and the redeveloped single. And 200 for the multifamily and all of the projects.
Yeah.
It's 82 degrees in here.
I know it's awful, I'm
I'm
dying.
good. I pretty much,
If there's any way we could have that last little right here and just call it a night, I am literally dying.
You can, if you need to
bounce, go
excuse
ahead.
yourself, go ahead. We have to 3.4. So,
That's
yeah,
that's right there.
yeah. We can handle that.
Which one are we handling?
Hold on. We're just about done. So Jessica, did you follow with what the discussion was? Cause I was.
100, 100, 200, 200 for both.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Request for certificate of compliance during time of OOC. We have 100. For
2-2.
free, and then 350 and 350. If it's after the expiration of order conditions, it's 100 per each year beyond expiration date for the first two, and then 125 a year.
Okay,
Everyone good with those remaining the same?
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
And then request for emergency certificate. I'm fine with those.
it's a rarity.
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, I don't think a existing single family house would have an emergency certificate because really the emergency is defined as something like public health or safety. So it might only be applicable to an all other project.
it's a rarity, would that
Emergency
be?
bridge washing out or something like
Yeah, we
that.
don't revisit that.
I say we all go to get an ice cream.
You guys should try
Um,
the pumpkin Oreo. It's so good.
The what?
Pumpkin Oreo.
Pumpkin
I'm
Oreo.
not worried about pumpkin Oreo, worried about trying to get you to stay. And you're just trying to spin with it and with pumpkin Oreos.
All right, so if we're good with the town's bylaws, it will have to go in front of the select board whenever that cluster is fixed. And
Yeah, which isn't any time,
so it's sometime in the end of November.
November, right. So everybody stay tuned.
So
He's not in
3.4,
stone yet.
we need to discuss a administration plan moving forward. I am meeting with Nelson, the town admin, on Monday.
I will try to go with you.
Okay,
I can too, but
we have to be careful how many people.
I'm not gonna go hold your hand.
Jessica has done a great job documenting
Fabulous.
stuff, so did Autumn. But with that said, no one's gonna be in the office to answer phone calls, and I can't check that many emails, addresses. So I already have to maintain 3 of them, so.
We all
Jessica, has there been
understand.
any discussion internally of what their plan is?
We will have it on Monday if there has been any.
So there hasn't been any discussion with HR or Nelson, outside of our commission then?
I mean, not that I've been involved in, at least. No.
And do you know if they have any certain expectations moving forward?
That would be a TA question. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really part of the planning endeavors after next week.
That makes sense also.
when are you leaving, Jessica?
Next Wednesday is my last day.
What happened to a month's notice? It would help us.
6 months notice would have been better.
I guess I'm happy for you. I know you got your hands full with 2 and a 3rd one coming, but
So
still, we're gonna miss you.
Aw, thank you guys.
I don't want to scare you away with all of this predicament that our town has gotten us in. To bring you up to date, our agent resigned in July, June, whatever. And town, because of the budget crisis, never posted the job position for agent. In the years past, at some point the post that position.
Sounds like Harley must have fallen asleep and dropped onto the computer. You all right, Harley?
We had I guess we had a brief loss of the internet connection. I think we're back now. I apologize. I don't know what happened.
So
We didn't know if we
I'm
lost
not,
you to the great
I'm not trying to
pumpkin.
put Jessica on on the spotlight here to answer these questions. She is going to, I hope she, she will hand everything over or have everything prepared that she can prepare for when she departs, which I greatly appreciate. I know all of our commissioners greatly appreciate. Can't thank you enough. But if the town isn't going to offer support,
can't be done. Let's just be straight and honest about it. No way a chair can sit there and do the
I can't
administrative.
give more time.
Jessica's barely able to do it with the
And I guess
hours
part
she
of this-
devotes,
Part of this
and that
discussion,
hasn't been fair to her.
part of
period.
this discussion is just documenting the frustration that the
Yes,
commission has, currently in,
concerns of our future. Where this board stands.
yes.
Like I said, presently, this town's structuring is like
Oh,
Chernobyl. It's melting down. You know, we have a new town administrator that just walked into both selectmen leaving and another one that's soon to go.
Well, you don't know that.
No, I don't, but you never know.
Hope you-
She's had some personal tragedies
It's been
lately.
tough.
Yes, so
Hopefully she'll just overcome
Jessica,
those.
I know you're
Hopefully, that's
tired.
what I'm
We're all
hoping.
tired. I wish there could have been I'm hopeful that there could be a plan put in place. Other than that, I just want to make sure that's on public record that I can't give any more. I can't expect anyone else to give more than they are given time and,
Thing is, I don't have the knowledge. I mean, I have to come in and answer phones but I'm not up to speed with everybody.
But the
Well,
thing
I'm
of it is,
new.
you're
But
a
it's being up to speed.
commissioner, Pat.
You know,
I'm a commissioner, you're a commissioner, we're commissioners. We are not hourly employees. Nor
Right.
should we for a minute be expected to pick up on a job that the town has predicated money for. No,
year after year, this is
No.
a new
Yeah,
position.
this is not anything new, Jimmy,
no.
you know,
So,
but I mean, it's
And I've seen this,
a commissioner gives freely of themselves many hours a year. And,
above and beyond the call too,
Exactly, and
You
it's,
know,
it's sad.
and it's
you know.
tough. And
We're
it
always
shouldn't
taking
be
a
that
call
way.
from somebody when somebody starts doing some work next to the house and, our family's an old family from town, I get a phone call and sometime after supper, I'm the only guy, I think I'm gonna sit down and, hey, what do you think of
so
this?
we all have,
You
we've
know,
all gone and
we all
checked,
go through it.
checked, projects, we all
Yeah.
keep an eye out on things, we try to do our,
It's a
try
lot
to
of
do what
time.
we can with the absence of a agent, but
Mhm.
with the absence of our core administration to our commission,
Yeah,
it is going to be very difficult for us to function. Simply
Your
because of time.
discussion with the town administrator, that you do us for are not, you cannot function and keep this commission in operation without Jessica and another admin, period. And if they have expectations of it existing and moving forward that way,
The only,
Wait, come on.
the biggest thing is,
I can.
well, and I'm doing this to document it.
Mhm.
Thank God we only have 2 more meetings in 2024, but, Jessica, I can't thank you enough for everything you've given us, the trouble you've kept us out with,
Mhm.
and, the progress that you've within our small town, Massachusetts.
Oh, good. Well, no,
we're gonna miss you, Jess.
oh, thanks. No, guys, it's been a pleasure, and I'm glad that we could really try to get things back on track. I have full faith. However, we move forward. You guys will do right.
Jessica, may I also add, I very much enjoyed working with you, and I concur with whoever it was who said you have a very beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you. So do you,
You're
Hartley.
absolutely right, Hartley.
Thank you. You're most welcome.
With that, it is 9:15.
Let's
We have a
adjourn.
correspondence. We are in a mild drought status, declared by Mass DEP. I'm not gonna read it.
Mhm.
Our next meeting is November 13th and December 11th, 2024, and January 8th, 2025. 7 p.m. Board of Select Chambers, 2nd floor. It will also be held via Zoom. So I make a motion to adjourn at 9:16 PM.
Second.
Jimmy seconded, roll call vote, please.
James Strong, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Gemini, yes.
Thank you,
That's soon to
Jessica.
be Mike.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jess.
Unless we scared him off already.